Right, welcome back to my adventure across the land. As we sit in our frozen wasteland, I have a plan today. I do, trust me, it's real, it exists. I'm just checking to see if I have any food. And of course I don't. Because what did we do in the last episode? Not get any food. I don't know why. I thought that's what I did. I have 2 pieces of mutton. I have 1 pieces of mutton. But today, we are going to find the most horrific and the most terrifying mob in the entire game. Some say it should be a boss. Some say that it should be axed. You know, this bit's stupid. Today, we're going to go find the polar bear. Too bad for us, there are none within the immediate vicinity of our house. If there were, that would be really, really fun and really good for us, but there are not, so we have to venture out into the world with nothing but our iron axe and 1 pork chop. Now, as you'll notice, the ice is not very large. That is because the polar bear's home is shrinking because it is melting. You can see here, there is absolutely no snow on these Christmas trees. So not only is Santa Claus dead, but so are the polar bears. Because as you'll recall from grade school, Santa Claus is the one who not only brings presents, but also snow to all of the children of the world. Except for the people who don't believe in him. They don't get snow or presents. They get whatever they get on their equivalent holiday of Christmas. And we can see over here that we have come across a rare polar bear. Now, you may be thinking, don't get too close to it because it's extraordinarily dangerous, and that you are correct. Now, I can get super close to this because they don't immediately aggro, which is very accurate to real life because as we know, Minecraft is entirely accurate to the real world with not a single difference. So even though it might sound angry, we can get as close as we want and it will not do a single thing. It will turn away from us because it thinks we're gross. However, we're just going to follow it around and see where it goes. We're going to live like this great creature does, because if I'm to survive out here in the frozen wasteland where there's no snow, then I have to live like the polar bear, because they live out in the frozen wasteland and they have to deal with shrinking habitats every single day. So if I can learn from the polar bear, then maybe I will have a chance of survival. So what do you say, Mr. Polar Bear or Mrs. Polar Bear? What do you say, Polar Bear? Will you teach me your ways? I'll take that as a yes. Alright, show me the first thing to do. Alright, you couldn't understand. However, the polar bear told me to take this axe and go kill something for food. So that is quest number 1, is to get food for not only me, but also the polar bear. Because we have to pay the polar bear back for its kindness in teaching out. What did you just say to me? Go on, say it again. Say it again. Alright, so we have obtained raw cod from killing a fish, and we'll go give this raw cod to our good friend the polar bear, who has not moved once from their spot, just as a good quest giver should not. Will Mama Bird this raw cod, is this raw cod? Raw cod into the polar bear, don't worry. So we're gonna eat it, and then we're gonna spit it back up, but I'm gonna cut out the spitting up part because that's graphic and obscene. So we're back on our quest for food, because 1 raw cod is not enough for a growing living polar bear. We need at least 35 fish, or alternatively 6 sheep. That number is variable though. So we're gonna go out into the wilderness and we're gonna look for the polar bear of the land, the sheep, because it's also white. So it's a funny little joke because sheep is very far from a polar bear. So we have found this sheep, and as you can tell by its wool color, it has soiled itself. It has absolutely soiled its pants. Its pants are soiled. It's disgusting. We should put it out of its soiled misery. And just like that, we have 2 raw mutton. You see, this right here, this is the ideal sheep. Now, I know that is unintentionally racially coded. Let me put it this way. It's the ideal sheep if you don't want a soiled sheep. We can't just have 1 sheep go up to sheep heaven. No. We have to have his friend. And it looks like this one is just going along for the... Excuse me, don't do that. You see, this sheep right here is dead. It's dead. It died. I don't know how. You know, this is going in some unintended ways. Probably rude, unintentional, racial sheep diversity aside, we have now killed enough to go back to our good friend the polar bear and return our goodies for another quest of living in the frozen wasteland that is, Icebergia? Icebergs? The Arctic? Where do polar bears live? The Arctic. They live up north. Penguins live in the south. And we can see that our polar bear has not only moved, but has also found friends. So we'll go around and we'll give a uncooked piece of meat to every single polar bear as a token of gratitude. Because rule number 1 states that we are under no circumstances allowed to eat uncooked food. Because I just had to be super preppy about it and only eat cooked food. Whatever. Alright, now we'll go back to our polar bear friend. What is your second word of wisdom? Alright, I will translate for you as I am fluent in polar bear. The polar bear said that we have to go find something. We don't know what it is yet. It's a quest. We'll know it when we see it. So right now we're just going to traverse the frozen wasteland until we find something of interest that the polar bear definitely wanted us to find. And I know what it is, but I'm not telling you because then that ruins the quest for you. And as we all know, the world revolves around the viewer. Okay, so we're back. We have found a wall of dirt, which is not the thing we were looking for, but it is kind of funny. As you can see over there, our little polar bear friend has guided us to what we were looking for, which is in fact this giant blue rock of ice. And you can tell it's what we were looking for because it's a slightly different shade of blue, indicating that we have not explored it yet. And once we do explore it, it will presumably turn the color of every other ice in the game. Now we're going to inspect the iceberg because there's a good chance that it might be the iceberg that sunk the Titanic, as we are in cold Arctic waters. It does not appear to be so this iceberg is in fact safe for human consumption. Alright, we're gonna pull out this stone pickaxe that we had this whole time, definitely, and we're going to come atop our iceberg, and now we have thoroughly explored it. And you may be thinking, well, why hasn't it changed color? And that is simply due to the temporal difference in the sky and in the ocean, causing this ice to turn a different color because its salinity is greater than the surrounding ice. So we are going to burrow into the ice for our prize. And after burrowing into the ice, we have found what the polar bear was guarding. It was guarding this protection 4 golden helmet. Now, a prized artifact like this cannot go unnoticed, as we have to repay our polar bear friend for his kindness. We will do what any good friend would do, and we will send him on his way. So, it has been a good ride, my friend. It has been a good journey. You are a great polar bear, but you are free now. You can roam the skies or the earth or wherever you choose. Be free. Be free. Be free. He even gave us a raw cod as a thank you for our efforts. As I look into the sky, I can see that the moon has risen, and it is very cold in our cold wasteland. It's even colder than normal because the sun is not up. What that means is that we might not survive the night. We might die. We might die a horrible, terrible death, just like our polar bear friend back there. I could not imagine being absolutely smacked in the face with an axe by my friend. That would probably hurt quite a bit. Not only physically, but also emotionally. I do feel bad for him. However, it had to be done. He wanted it. So we have traversed the what is this? What are we calling this? The ice wasteland. We've traversed the ice wasteland in the dead of night. A feat only done by polar bears and 2 other people, both of them ice skaters. So it doesn't really count because they just kind of skated over the ice. Me, on the other hand, I'm walking over the ice, which is much more difficult than skating, so I get a pass. And would you look at this? I have found a absolute amazing thing for me out in this barren wasteland. I have found real dry land. Somebody has already claimed our land, so we will do what any normal person does, and just kill them, and then claim it for ourselves. And it would even seem that the person who claimed the land before me built up a little settlement with a little farm. I shall take this randomly generated house of the world of Minecraft and claim it as my own, as I did not build this house and I did not build that. But you can see the sun is rising, indicating that the night has fallen, which is normally what happens. But it also means that the warmth comes back, and it's not gonna melt the ice because that can't happen. It's just always cold here. But it warms up the cold. It was like super cold before, and now it's just like normal cold. So anyway, I'll go into the house. And then I'll stop the bit for a while because it's kind of stupid, and I'll put away all my fish. And we had cooked fish that whole time. You're telling me I could have been eating cooked fish? Wow, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stupid. I didn't even think we had any food, but here I am walking around with 3 hunger bars and literally no health. All right, I'm gonna name this rock, this ice rock. It's now named Mount Snow. We have Mount Snow, and we have Little Farm, and we have Stupid Little Farm because it's made out of the berries that do this. They damage me. Oh, actually, you know what? Rule number 2 states that we can't return home unless we die, so we shall leave this little settlement for the people of that island over there that I killed. You know, there have been a lot of really imperialist values in this episode, and for that I apologize. It was meant to be a stupid Minecraft video, but I guess it's now a stupid imperialist Minecraft video. So anyway, we'll die to this plant and return home. And home we are, and we already have cooked food waiting for us because I am just so smart. And our home looks remarkably similar to the one we found out in the wilderness, but I assure you it's not the same one, because that would break the rules, and I'm not about breaking the rules. But with our great journey of the polar bear over, and the star rising into the sky, we will call it a night, or a day. We'll call it a 24-hour period, and then we'll end. I'm over. It's gone. Bye bye.